Howdy, Cancer. Hope you guys are doing well. I want to apologize for the wait in getting this reading out. It has been a struggle over on my end. I was telling Gemini that lunar eclipse in Pisces was an exact hit for me, my 1st and 7th house axis. So the struggle bus has been what I've been riding the last little while, and I'm sure it's just the beginning. But Cancer, connecting with your energy. I live in the South, so the imagery that I was getting in my head was like this stretch of country road with these giant live oak trees on either side, and of course you have the Spanish moss trailing down from the branches, and it's kind of just framing this country road, and it's beautiful, but there's this sense of the past kind of weighing heavy over the present. And as I was connecting with that, shuffling your cards, I was kind of envisioning walking down this country road and coming up on this rusty red truck. And the truck is running, and the person in the driver's seat is a skeleton. And I kind of checked in with my guides when I was seeing this, and I was like, okay, well, if this is relevant to the reading, then make sure the Chariot card comes out. And part of the interpretation that was even coming into my mind then was like being either on autopilot or allowing your past to dictate your decision making in a way that's destructive, not in a way that's informative, because there's a distinction there. But we'll see what comes through. Let's pull our first card, shall we? Cancer, we've got Death, which is actually one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card. Could be Scorpio related, but oh well, yeah. It was like, that's the skeleton driving the truck. Could be that you're coming out of a situation. Like, I don't know why this imagery is so vivid in my mind. It's like overtaking my attention right now. It's like the skeleton in the truck is like driving away from a plantation, and on this plantation, I feel like all the rooms are like full of skeletons. Like, there's so much weight, so much expectation, so much hope, even fear, and it's like debilitating. It's like it's too much. It's like I need to get out before I turn into them. Like maybe escaping family or a work situation or a relationship. But it's like there's this energy of like kind of running away in the night. And kind of leaving the rest of them to fend for themselves. Because I feel like this is so strange. I've never had like imagery just like, it's like a veil overtaking me right now. I'm going to keep pulling cards and see what comes through. This is very strange. We have the Sun. With the Death card, this is like breakthrough energy. This is like whatever this heavy weighted veil that's kind of like sinking around me right now. It's kind of representing a situation that you were in the past. It's like this is you like ripping through it and like breaking out and saying, this is who I am now. And the past doesn't weigh in on that. It doesn't weigh in on who I am or who I've become. Like the ball and chain shackles have been cut. And you're free, and you're driving that red rusty truck. but it's like that red energy, that passionate energy, that drive to move beyond limitations and into something new and exciting and inviting, something creative, new life. Yeah, this is like the dawn after the sun had set. Like the sun set on one chapter and now the sun is rising on the next. Yeah. Three of Wands. Middle decan of Aries. This is that energy of like looking out into the world, and the world is like your oyster. The world is something for you to go out and conquer now. Like that energy of drive and passion to dictate reality and to create reality. And I feel like this is very new energy for you. Like you've just moved out of this past heavy lead blanket situation, whatever it was. Like you left all those skeletons behind and moving into something new. It's like the past is... It's interesting, with Gemini's reading before this, the key that I was getting with them is to allow the past to inform their decision-making process. I feel like whatever the situation was for you, like it was so extreme that it's almost like the message is opposite that. It's like, leave it behind, because if you carry it with you, you're not going to go anywhere. It's just going to hold you back. And sure, there's things that you've learned having gone through it, but it's like, this isn't the time for you to sit back and reflect on things, to ruminate. This is like the time for you to move and to keep that momentum going, to keep moving forward, to keep calling the shots while you're in the position to do so. Nine of Cups. This is being in a position where you are calling the shots, but where you're aware of your own accomplishments and aware of your own capabilities and appreciative of what you've done and what you're capable of doing. This is like showing them, if we're going to go back to that analogy of having left behind the house full of skeletons that had so much expectation and hope, like suffocating you, where it was like you weren't allowed to be your own person. This is you being your own person, and finally like you're doing it to not to spite them, but to show them and to yourself, show them and show yourself that you're capable. Period. Yeah, like you said, I couldn't do this, and I did it. So, who's wrong now? Sort of energy. Let's see, and you have the Ace of Wands, like a lot of like fresh, renewing, beginning energy. Like this is that cardinal point of Aries, the beginning point of the zodiac, the spring equinox for the northern hemisphere. This is when the upward momentum finally breaks over the horizon and the golden light of dawn is like spread out over the landscape and waking all the creatures up, waking all the trees and the plants up. It's a new day. And I'm almost seeing this as like, let me try to make it a little bit more modern. Is like a businessman or like a CEO, somebody in a boss in a meeting, somebody in a authoritative position is what I was trying to say when I said somebody in a boss. Somebody has a boss. With like a whiteboard. And it's like they're delineating different roles, different jobs, different tasks, and then like assigning it to people. And it's like all this energy being directed and delegated in order to move towards the completion of a project in some way. And I feel like this Nine of Cups right here is that completion. Maybe even completion for its own sake. But it's like this is something new, something inventive, something creative, and you have the drive and the passion behind it. And I think it's because you're following this rocket momentum out of this past situation that was kind of weighing you down before. Now it's like it's inspiring you to keep moving because you are not going back to that. And there may be moments where you turn back to it and linger on it. I think what this card is saying is you're safe. If you've come out of a situation that was abusive or dangerous in some way, you know, this could be those sleepless nights where you wake up in the middle of the night thinking that you're still there. And it's real for you in that moment, but as you wake up, you kind of realize that's not where I am anymore. This isn't real for me anymore. You know, I've cut through the veil. I've kind of burst into a new chapter in my life. And none of that past matters anymore. I shouldn't say that. It doesn't have control over you anymore. And this could be a warning to keep yourself from allowing this past situation to limit your process. Like don't feel like you're that small, weak person that maybe you felt like you were in the past. Because you're in the golden hour. Like you're in that dawn moment. And you have so much drive and power and possibility available to you. And I feel like if you linger for a moment, you know, the opportunity is going to pass you by. Like there's something available to you right now that's groundbreaking. Maybe on a personal level, but maybe also on a larger level. Something that hasn't been done before, or at the very least hasn't been done by you before. And it's supplanting that old energy of feeling restricted and limited, feeling like you have to hide, feeling like you are less than. I'm hearing you stand alone, but you're not alone, if that makes sense. Like you have resources and support available to you. And maybe you're connecting with people that provide support in some way. So it's not like you're standing alone, but you are kind of in a central point, a central position. Let's see what else we got. Temperance. This is a card of alchemy. And next to this Nine of Swords right here, it's like alchemizing these past experiences into something useful. Like, instead of focusing on the fear or the emotional tumult that was maybe inherent in this past experience and letting that limit and slow you down and make you feel small again, it's like this Temperance card is like, look at it from a different angle. Look at it from a utilitarian perspective. Look at the different situations and break them up into themes. And from those themes, try to glean some sort of understanding or maybe information that can be universalized in some way and can be made relevant to a situation that you experience in the present, so that you can know which course of action is the appropriate one to take. Like, if I go down this particular path, it looks like this, and this is how it manifested in the past because I chose this particular thing. But maybe by choosing the thing that I didn't choose in the past, I have the opportunity to break open into, I heard, larger fields, like into a space where there's even more opportunity, rather than reaching those dead ends that you kind of slammed your face into in the past. I hope that makes sense. Our next card, we have the Eight of Cups. That is the first decan of Pisces. The energy of abandoning circumstances, of walking away from a situation. Like, not carrying the weight with you anymore. Like, whatever this energy of the past is, like, it's so heavy. And it can be so limiting and debilitating and restrictive if you allow it to be. But I think this Temperance card here is like, that's the medicine. And it's going to help you to truly walk away from the situation by shifting your perspective of the past. Maybe taking on that more utilitarian mindset that I was kind of talking about. You're able to walk away from these sleepless nights. You're able to move forward without feeling like you have to keep looking over your shoulder, or like you have lead in your boots or something. Like, when everything is going well, if you've come from a bad situation, it's very easy for you to think, oh, something really bad is going to happen, because things don't go well. Like, what is this? This is foreign. This is not normal. It's like, sometimes it is normal. It's okay when things are going well. And it's possible for you to continue structuring your life in a way that furthers the momentum of growth and positivity and abundance and creative breakthroughs. You know, that doesn't have to stop. And the only thing that can stop it is you. So why not keep it going if you have that ability, if you have that responsibility, I guess. Why not enjoy it and make something of it? And not linger. Rather than linger, reflect and integrate and move on. You have the Five of Swords. This is that moving on card. This is the, if it'll focus, there we go. Right next to this Eight of Cups. One of the things that was coming to mind as I was looking at this card is like somebody coming back from the past, maybe. And maybe trying to get you to come back into the situation that you were in previously. And this is you saying your piece. The only way to keep this person from returning in the future is for you to say your truth, to give the I heard the absolution, like say why you walked away without trying to soften it or make it flowery or try to be sensitive about it, like being very exacting and truthful. Cutting this out and saying, this is over. And here's why it's over. Here's why I'm not going back. And if you try to come back again, like, these are going to be the consequences, sort of energy. Like, you're done. There is nothing that you have that I want or that I need. But everything that I have, you clearly want, or you wouldn't be coming back. Page of Swords. This is you swiftly exiting, swiftly moving on. You know, we went from like this kind of watery, heavy energy, left it behind, and now we're clear and concise in our thoughts. And I almost feel like this is you. You've said the things, you've cut the person out, you've told them all the terrible things that they've done and how terrible they've made you feel and why you don't want them in your life anymore and why you're moving on and, you know, screw them, you don't need them sort of energy. And then this Page of Swords is like you like walking away from that conversation feeling like, oh my God, I did it, like it's done, and being kind of like giddy and excited and even laughing about it, but like it's kind of like almost frantic energy, like you don't know what to do with it. It's electric, and so you're just kind of you're running along, running away, maybe skipping or sauntering down the street to get away from this person, but like looking back, like just to check the reality in some fashion, all the while moving into a state of being that no longer accepts non-ideal situations. By saying your piece, you have earned yourself the ability to stand up for yourself in a way that you weren't capable of before, or maybe you didn't believe you were capable of before. It's like I feel like you're in the right. Like I'm looking at the birds above his head, and it's kind of become like a halo in my mind, and then you have like the clouds being like a sort of wing, like angelic figure. Like the truth hurts, the truth cuts, but the truth is so necessary, and it's so much better than cowering into a little hole and pretending like it isn't your truth. Like in saying your piece and cutting this person or these persons out, you've like earned your wings in a way, is what I'm hearing. Like it only gets better from here on out. I'm gonna draw one more card, Cancer. Let's see what we've got. The Hierophant. This is the exact same card that came through for the last overall card for Gemini. And for Gemini, the message was very much like, lean on your teachers. Lean on the people who have walked the walk, who have done what you've done. In your particular case, I'm almost feeling like there's a book. Like somebody's written a book that has gone through a situation just like the one that you've gone through. Maybe an abusive family, you know, whatever the case may be. I feel like there's something that you'll find in a book that you'll resonate with and that you'll be able to find representation in But even if that's not the case, like this could be, you're moving into a period of time where the world has become your teacher in a way. Maybe you're going back to school literally, but this is like you're embarking on a new journey of self-discovery. Maybe learning how to live appropriately. Like, I can't shake this imagery of like you having been kept in the basement with chains of this old house with these old dead people who are trying to dictate your life and keep you trapped there. And now you're out in the world again, and this Hierophant is like, you're learning how to be alive. Like, you're learning how to be your own person. And whether that's learning by way of literally taking teachers upon yourself, or entering, an educational environment, or just by trusting and learning from the process itself. And this card is Taurus. The Hierophant is Taurus. So could be like the energy of connecting with the environment around you, like your living environment, allowing it to be conducive and supportive for you during this new chapter for you. I'm hearing like integrating elements within your immediate environment that encourage and help solidify this newness that you're embodying. It could be filling your bookcases up with books that you can read, find representation in, and glean knowledge and wisdom from. All right. I think that's what we've got, Cancer. Again, I do want to apologize for the delay in getting your reading out, but we're here. It's done. I'm trying to stick with a once a month reading schedule at the very least. I've so far been getting those out usually around the end of the month in order to get the reading out for the next month. But I do also want to leave flexibility for occasional bi-weekly readings when my schedule allows for it. This particular round of readings would have been the bi-weekly, like middle month reading schedule, and I'm going to try to get these all out so I can start on the next round, probably sometime next week or the week after. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, great. I hope you gleaned something useful, or at least encouraging out of it. And please share your stories in the comments. I do like reading your stories and kind of seeing how the tarot is mirroring your situation back to you. But yeah, wishing you the best, Cancer. You're moving on up in the world.